Hello you guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Miska and I'm back with another video. And today we are talking about communication. Very important topic because whether we're talking to a significant other, family member, friend, somebody at our job, we got to know how to communicate, and we have to know how to communicate effectively. And this has been a task for me because I am a naturally vague person. And I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's a muscle that I have built up, but tearing down that muscle and rebuilding it into something else has been a task. So I figured that I would come to you guys and share, what I've learned thus far, especially in marriage and in friendship as well. And being a naturally vague person, I mean, like, everything is not that serious. Not everything, but for the most part, everything is like not that serious, not that deep for me. Like if you was to ask me what I'm doing, I'll be like, oh, I ain't doing nothing. But I'm really over here coloring on a page or preparing to cook dinner. Like I just go for the least dramatic or least whatever answer. And it's natural. Like it's not that I'm trying to be secretive or whatever. I'm just naturally vague. And so, as you can imagine, that vagueness kind of gave me some issues when I got married, especially being that Courtney, my husband, is a very detail oriented person. He is all about more and more and more details, where I am like on zero all the time. And like, yeah, I had a great time with my friends. And he's like, well, what did y'all do? Oh, well, we did this, and that. But he's wanting the this, and that from the jump. Like, he doesn't want to hear like, oh, yeah, it was cool. But that's what I say. Like, if I'm having a good time, I feel like it's kind of hard for somebody to tell that I'm having a good time because I'm just a cool, calm, chill individual. But anyway, like I said, that kind of was an issue that we were running into because he wants more details while I'm just like, is this really necessary? Like, but something that was pointed out to me and that I had to learn, was that I'm not communicating for myself. It doesn't matter that I am satisfied with what I just said or with the information that I just gave. It is the satisfaction belongs to the person that I'm communicating with. And so because Courtney is my husband, I think the world of him. I want to share my world with him and all of these great things. It is important that he is satisfied with my communication, and I don't want to say that in like a controlling way because it's not about control, but when he is my frustration is that you're putting a demand on my words. And so is that a bad thing? Absolutely not. It's okay to want more details. Is it bad that I am more vague or, don't really have a lot to say? Absolutely not. However, we we have differences as people. That's just something that we are going to have differences, different ways of handling different things, different ways of saying different things. And so if we're going to be in a unit, if we're going to be one flesh and be a unit, there is compromise that has to happen. And being able to give more information or say more is a compromise that I have to be willing to do because I don't want to leave him frustrated because I all the time anyway, because I am comfortable just saying, the minimal or whatnot. Does it hurt me or harm me to say more? Absolutely not. And I feel like that's something that we need to keep at the forefront when we are considering communication. Is this enough for the person that I am communicating with? Not enough, but is this sufficient? I guess the same thing. Is this sufficient for the person that I am in communication with? Because that comes up a lot. We develop, and that's something that we're not even taught. We're not even taught communication. We just jump into it. So, not all the time. Not everybody's experience is different. But for the most part, we just jump into it. And we pick up things and learn things along the way. But and it's not always gonna gel well with whoever you run into, whoever you work with, whoever you are in love with. And it's important to not think, oh, she does it wrong because she doesn't do it how I do, or oh, he does it wrong because he doesn't go about it the same way I do. It's not about that. It's about figuring out the difference. What is it that he's requesting of me? He wants more details, and he doesn't want to have to dig and pry for it. Hilarious. And he doesn't want to dig and pry for it. Me, okay, I can do that. And also share my heart. Like, Courtney, when I'm giving you this information, it's not that I am trying to withhold anything from you. It's just that I'm naturally vague. So please be patient with me as I, learn this new way of communicating. It's not as simple as that, but it is as simple as that, if that makes sense. But yeah, make sure that we aren't calling people wrong because they communicate differently from us. There's compromise that needs to happen, and we also have to be, like the word says, slow to speak and quick to listen. Quick to hear, quick to listen, same thing. But yeah, we got to be slow to speak and make sure we have full understanding. That's the second thing I wanted to talk about. A lot of times we're not on the same page as the person that we are speaking with, but think we are. Like, it's been plenty of times where I done had conversations with Courtney. I'll just keep using him as an example today. But it's been plenty of times that I've had conversations with him and got up from this conversation thinking that, oh yeah, I know what he's talking about. We on the same page and we talking about the same thing. Whole time we were not. And yeah, that's a whole nother thing when it comes to like being slow to speak and quick to hear. And also, if we want to add some action behind that, to make sure that we are clear on what's being said to us and that we aren't missing the mark. Now, is there something wrong with missing the mark or missing what somebody's saying? Absolutely not. Not all the time. Sometimes there are consequences behind it. Like if you thought the other person was supposed to pay this bill, but it turns out they weren't saying that they were paying it. They were saying that you need to pay it instead. Just something that came to the top off the top of my head. Situations like that, okay, a consequence, a late bill being paid, because each of the people thought that the other person was supposed to be handling it. However, for the most part, it's nothing wrong with it. But if you want to like be a clearer communicator and make sure you have a clear understanding, we have to start following up and asking questions to make sure we are, and not just assuming we know what somebody's talking about just because words have been said to us. Me, myself, I tend, like I said, I say less. But when I am talking, I use very dramatic words to like convey what I am feeling or thinking. And I think I use those dramatic words because I feel like when I say this word, what I'm thinking or feeling should be understood. Because I don't really want to have to say more than this little sentence. I'm going to use this dramatic word to really get the point across. But do I really feel that dramatic way? Not really. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully that makes sense. Like, I am saying this dramatic word, but am I like, sometimes I can act like I'm mad, or dissatisfied with the situation, but am I really mad? Absolutely not. Did it frustrate me a little bit? Yes, but sometimes I'll hop over frustration and say, girl, he know he got on my nerves. He blah, 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 blah. But am I mad in that moment? Absolutely not. And I'm just sharing that to say, a lot of times people choose words and say things that you could think mean one thing, but they really mean another. So it is important to make sure you are understanding what others are saying in addition to communicating to the needs of the other person. Make sure you know what people are saying, and don't, like I said, assume that you know just because something was said to you. And a way that we can do that is by saying things like, okay, so let me just make sure I'm clear on what you're saying. Are you saying that you blah, 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 blah? And give them the opportunity to be like, you know what? I'm not saying exactly that. A little bit of that I am saying, but I'm really saying this. So that they can be, so that you can receive the clarity that you need and not leave a situation thinking you got the gist of it when you really don't. And so those are the two. It's so much more to be covered when it comes to communication, but those are the two things that I wanted to talk about today, especially because those are two things that I have had to learn. And even in friendship, like I say, I realized, I don't know when it was, I realized, I guess at the top of this year, that I leave a lot to the imagination because I don't really say a lot. Like somebody can say something to me, and if I feel like, oh, that really doesn't deserve a response, like I won't say anything. Not because I'm mad, not because I feel away, not because I'm trying to withhold information, but I don't know. I just feel like I have this meter in my mind, and when somebody says something, if I feel like what they said was a statement, more times than not, I'm not going to say anything. But if they ask me an outright question, I will say something. But the latter, me assuming that somebody is making a statement, that has caused me to kind of, I would say, to kind of to be misunderstood. That's what I say. To be misunderstood, and my silence is mistaken for something else. And so, communication is a trip, y'all. It is a trip, but it is needed. It's a skill that we have to develop. And I don't know, maybe this can be a series or something. Or we just go through different areas of communication. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. But we gotta not first, but two of the things that we have to work on when it comes to communication is making sure we are very clear on what is being said, asking follow-up questions, and even summing up what the other person is saying so that we can make sure we know what they're talking about and ain't leaving the situation frustrated or feeling like we know what they're talking about the whole time we missed it. And then also, we want to make sure that we are communicating to the needs of the other person and not making them feel like they are wrong because they want a certain thing when it comes to communication with you. Because if we are going to be in relationship with each other, again, whether that is romantic or platonic, we can't just sit around each other and be quiet. Whether we, we can't just sit around each other and be quiet. We have to talk. We have to communicate. And so figure out what it is that you need from the people that you communicate with, and figure it out. And then also take a survey of what the people in your life need when it comes to communication, and build that muscle, because it's a lost art. It's a lost skill. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment below of some more topics that you want to hear discussed or talked about. And until next time.